This is the BK Lounge Podcast. Welcome to laughs, love, and crazy debates by your two favorite hosts, Burt and Kenny. Join us in talks about military life, relationships, golf life, and so much more. Your new favorite place to come hang out on Sundays. Introducing the BK Lounge Podcast, a Burt's Beat Studios production. And now your hosts, Burt and Kenny.
Well, hello.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Sunday. As we were getting ready for the podcast, I just looked at...
You really gonna out me already?
Yeah, because I can't get over it. We were about to turn it on, and I'm like, you're wearing a full green suit?
Usually it's a grout fit, but today it's green on green.
Yeah. Kind of matches the background, too.
Matches the background, and I didn't even know. I had the light set on green, too.
It's just a green day.
What would you call a green outfit? Like a grout fit is a gray outfit. Would it also be considered a tier of a grout fit?
Yeah, I think it's a level of a grout fit. Maybe a griffit.
A griffit?
Griffit?
Griffit? All right. I don't mind that. A griffit.
One of them.
One of them. Wearing all green. It is what it is. I'm Irish.
What?
Getting ready for St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a little of everything this week. You did a haka.
I did do a haka. Not a real haka, because, yeah.
Yeah.
Jess, Kenny's best friend, how did it even come up?
I have no idea, but it was weird because you just started doing it.
Yeah, well, I've seen him on TikTok.
He just starts screaming at us.
Yeah, because Jess was like, I've never even heard of a haka.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Oh, no, it's because she said how tan your legs were.
Oh, that's right. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm this or I'm that. And I'm actually very pale for me.
Yeah.
But she didn't know what a haka was. And so I went full haka mode, started a haka on both of you, and neither of you really knew what to do.
No. Freaked us both out.
I thought it was pretty good. Had the eyes.
You were missing the tongue at first.
Yep, didn't have the tongue action going. Those hakas are actually pretty sick.
Yeah, no, they're definitely something crazy. Wasn't expecting it at
9 o'clock at
9
night.
o'clock at night.
But yeah, welcome in episode 13. I think I said 12.
Yeah, I know it's 13.
Did I say 12?
I don't know.
I don't even know if I said an episode number, but it's 13. Someone said lucky 13 in chat. I like that.
Lucky 13.
We love that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go over what we talked about last week.
Yeah. You want to do a recap?
Yeah, I'd love to do the recap.
All right.
Last week, that's episode 2. Silly me. We talked about kind of why we took a little bit of a hiatus the week prior.
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day thoughts. Love to hate, hate to love. Valentine's Day, of course. Kenny doesn't like it. I'm a hopeless romantic. I feel like hopeless romantic is just like a bad thing.
Like, it's a bad thing overall, or is it a bad term to you?
I feel like it's a bad term, because it feels like, he's like a little lost puppy that's never going to be loved. What are you nodding your head for?
Yeah? That's kind of like, yeah, that's what that means.
So then I'm not a hopeless romantic. I'm just a romantic.
You were once a hopeless romantic. Now
Was a hopeless romantic?
Nah.
Drop that hopeless. Now I'm just a romantic. And all green.
No, you just love any occasion to, treat your girl and do all the stuff and the festivities, and especially when it's around love.
Love.
The day of love.
Love to love.
Honestly, it kind of makes me nauseous thinking about it.
Yeah, so much love. So much love will make you sick.
That's what the people say.
That's what the people say.
But.
And then we talked about Kenny's family's coming to town this week, as early as possibly tomorrow night, really.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. We'll get into my lunatic of a brother-in-law.
Shoot.
And I hope he listens to this, and I hope he listens to it on repeat as he drives down here, and we'll go over the reason why he's driving like a crazy person. God love him, and maybe it's good for him.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe that 15-hour car ride will help him with his brain, and he's like, I'm moving my family, we're doing this thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
And like, I don't know. But best part is he's gonna do 15 hours back next Monday.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot.
That's insane.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
But yeah, so we talked about my family.
Yep. We did Rose and the Thorn. We should do that again today. We got to keep it rolling.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
And we also talked about some write-ins with our viewership that is live on here on Twitch. So, full disclosure, we really couldn't pencil in what we really wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, let's just do a giant Q&A session.
Yeah, I like that. I like when everybody writes in, because I have some that were still from before.
Oh, okay.
That we haven't really talked about or kind of engaged with. So we'll kind of do some with our live viewership as well as
some write-ins on
our media pages.
And again, for those who are listening on Apple or Spotify, the people that we're interacting with and answering live questions are folks from our Twitch page, twitch.tv/the BK Lounge Pod. We film it live every Sunday, but not all Sundays. We film it every Sunday, but not some Sundays. Courtesy Flush just wrote in saying, nothing wrong with driving. Sometimes it's just nice to get in the car, turn up the music, and go. Clear your mind. Don't disagree.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no.
The comma is his family is flying down just
Friday.
A few days later.
Yeah. And he has a flight, too.
Yeah, he's on that flight. I need to change something here, chat. Sorry. There's something going on blocking our view.
You all right?
Yeah, bad prep. So he has a flight. He has a ticket. His family's coming down, but he's coming down early to get a jump on the workforce. I like that. I understand that. I get that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, the driving, to each their own again. Live your life.
And he loves that. He loves that kind of like, I don't know. He just loves a road trip. He loves the grub. He loves the gas stations. I don't blame him. I mean, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, what you doing? But he'll be here, and I have a crazy week at work, so you and him...
I'm excited. He already texted saying, hey, are we ready to go hit some diners?
Yep. So
I'm stoked.
And for anybody that... I don't know if you guys can hear our little ghetto of a background.
We do have the window open. Can you guys hear the background? You're probably going to hear... This probably wasn't a good idea to keep that open.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Can you guys hear the background?
But yeah, so... Justin, we can't wait to have you, but you are absolutely insane for driving. And I told him that. I've talked to him a couple times, but I was like, you kind of crazy for that, but teach his own and do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your freak thing.
Yeah, I'm going to mute my mic and close that window.
Okay.
Talk to the people.
Yeah, I'll talk to the people. But yeah, so... Family coming down. We have a great way of prepping for our episodes.
Super professional studio.
Yeah. So no, we live a little bit. We don't live in the ghetto, but we live around
a busy street. Very busy street. People go flying by. Music absolutely blaring. We can hear every word of the song in their car as they're driving by with the windows up.
And I can feel the bass in my chest.
Yeah.
No, it's always super good.
All we could hear was me closing the window with a muted mic. Yeah, it's tiny studio. Studio. We're working on upgrades, okay?
We are not working with a lot of space in here.
No. I could spit from here and hit the wall.
Yeah, so a little chaotic with the Q&A.
Yep, little bit of a... That's probably our most chaotic episode.
So far, yeah. And
we haven't got the questions.
No, we are only 8 minutes in.
8 minutes in.
Dang.
Hoorah, baby. Okay, all right. So, hey, let's start it off. And when we say questions, it doesn't necessarily need to be like a quick yes or no. Like, we want situational based stuff. Like, if you guys are going through something, or you want advice on something, or you have a question about maybe the golf industry, or the military, or me getting out of the military, or Kenny in a managerial position, you're in one. We want give us some meat and potatoes.
Yeah. We did have a write-in, and they asked us if we could live in any era. What era would we be in? And I love questions like that. I ask him questions like that all the time. I'll be like,
No,
if
you asked
you-
me. That is a like makes you think kind of question.
you
Some
know
of
what
the
one
questions.
that just came up in my head?
What?
If you could be a lizard, what kind of lizard would you
I
be?
don't even know what kind of lizards there are.
You know the one on holes? The venomous lizard?
With like the.
Yeah, that's what I would be, for sure.
That's crazy to me. I also, where do you get these questions? Because we'll be just driving in the car, and it'll be questions similar to this, but not this. Of like, oh, if you could be a vegetable, what vegetable would you be? It's like questions like that.
Yeah.
Or like, what kind of cat would you be?
I've never asked you what cat you would be. No, I wouldn't.
What
never.
wild animal would you be?
Like, what kind of roadkill would you be? If
Yeah,
you could be
like
a
these kind of
roadkill.
questions are genuine questions that Kenny will just spit out.
If you could be roadkill, what kind of roadkill would
If
you
I could be roadkill, I think I would be you. I'd be a skunk. Because I want everyone to know that I have passed. Friend, foe, somebody that doesn't know me, when they hit that scent, when they go to bed and they have a window fan in and say, "Oh God, there's a dead skunk in the road." I want them to think about me before they go to bed and say, "Damn, R.I.P. that skunk," you know?
Yeah.
What kind of roadkill would you be?
I don't know. Probably like a beaver.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you ever seen like a roadkill beaver?
Uh,
Or like a woodchuck or something?
Oh, no, I didn't hit. One time I hit a porcupine.
I've hit a skunk. I've hit a squirrel. I've hit a rabbit. But hitting a beaver would be, I don't know, kind of crazy. But whatever. What it doesn't matter. What era would you live in?
What era? I think I would like to go back to like the Great Gatsby era.
You don't even know what that is.
Like the 1920s, the roaring 1920s.
Yeah.
I'd go back to the 1920s.
Yeah.
It would suck to not be like wealthy in the 1920s because it was either you were wealthy or you were dirt poor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd love to go to like a Great Gatsby party in the 1920s.
Was that like a theme then?
Well, no, those like style of parties. Whereas like
the Great
glitz and
Gatsby
gam.
is like a movie now.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, like the
So, like
era
that-
of the Great Gatsby.
I don't like that.
Okay.
The only thing I like about that is like the long cigarette.
Kenny loves a good dart.
Yeah, I love a cigarette.
What era would you do? Like the
Medieval times.
medieval times?
I don't know.
How can you why?
I'd be like a Viking or something on a boat.
Would you be like what would you be as a Viking? Would you like be a big burly woman and
Yeah.
whoop on people?
Yeah. With one of those swinging balls.
That
Swinging spike ball.
you're mashing like knight in shining armor with
Yeah, what?
that. I just lost the name of it.
I don't
A
know.
Viking. Were Vikings in
I don't know what era, but that's the one I want to be in. I don't know.
I feel like Vikings just had like clubs. I feel like they were around. No, were Vikings around with dinosaurs? That was cavemen. I'm getting caveman and Viking mixed up.
We're not really good at our eras, but that's what I would want to be. Yeah, like Game of Thrones.
Why would you want to be in that era? What would you be? Would you be a queen?
No.
Would you be a peasant?
No. I would be the girl that's in Game of Thrones that they are raising her to be like a princess, and then she's just
the
a-
little one.
Yeah.
The one that killed the
Yep.
Iceman. She was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
I also think of like the 1920s. Like you get to dress up a lot. I feel like that'd be fun.
No, I would hate every second of that.
Yeah. But also Game of Thrones, like I feel like Game of Thrones made it look like they bathed a lot, but I feel like back in that kind of time
No,
era, like
they
nobody
stunk.
bathed.
They stunk.
Yeah.
You be doing weird stuff.
Yeah. And just stanking. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't
couldn't.
know.
I don't know if I could deal with that.
No, whatever. You just get used to it.
Yeah, like you go nose blind like the commercials.
Yeah.
Go
Exactly.
nose blind to BO and
Dirt.
public hangings.
That's not a smell. Yeah, no. That's not a real thing. But that's interesting. The 1920s didn't think you were going to say that.
What were you thinking?
For you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think I would be in the Game of Thrones era?
The imp.
The imp. All right, neat. Okay. I changed my mind.
Or the gesture.
The jester?
The gesture. I can't say that.
Jester.
Yeah.
A gesture is like...
It was like, I'm giving you a gesture.
Yeah.
But it came out as gesture.
Right. Jester. So I'd be
I don't know.
the class idiot or like castle idiot.
I didn't say that.
Well, jesters have to be like stupid and like funny, and if you're not, off with their head.
Yeah, you have to be funny.
I'm hilarious. So you know what? That makes sense.
Cut their head off.
Cut their head off. We're also talking about like the best, the way we want to go if we had to die.
Yeah.
In medieval times.
Yep.
What did you say yours was?
Chop my head off.
Chop guillotine. Yep. And I think I agreed with that. But then later on, there was an episode where the dragon breathed fire and just crisped somebody up. I think that'd be kind of cool too. Like the thrill of like, you see the flames and then you're just cremated.
You don't cremate. He was still there.
Well, I'd want to be cremated by a dragon.
Alive cremated?
Well, no, I'd die pretty quick.
But that's like going in the tube and being alive.
Oh my God. I think a dragon breathes hotter fire than...
You think cremation's real?
What do you mean is cremation real?
You think it's real? Or do you think it's fake?
Like they're taking the body somewhere and like just giving you like a handful of sand from like North Beach or something?
Yeah, or do they just love bonfires and put it in an urn?
Because you really never know what's in that urn.
You don't know what's in the urn. It's that, that's spooky to me. I don't think I can think about that anymore. I don't know about that.
I kind of like this conspiracy theory we're going on here.
Yeah, I don't really like it anymore. I shouldn't have brought it up. Because it's making me a little, like, uneasy.
Oh my God. Is cremation real, she says. So if it's not real, what are they doing to the bodies?
I don't know. Using them as, like, fertilizer. Yeah, that's weird to me.
That took a turn.
Yeah, I don't know. Next question.
Next question. What do y'all got for questions? Any conspiracy theories that you truly believe in that aren't like political and get like, you know?
Somebody asked us earlier. There was one of our first write-ins.
Oh.
They asked, I want a Viking burial. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. For real. They asked us how we balance my work life with your online presence and your work life and how they're so different. How do we manage that?
Ooh, tough one.
We don't. That's the key.
We run with it. We try. It's very challenging because a lot of the times I'm streaming when she gets on her way home or at the end of her day and comes home to me streaming, or I start when she's home. So it kind of makes it tough for like dinner planning. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, spending time with one another.
Yeah.
But it's just two very different things. Kenny's interacting with people all day, around people all day. I am not. And we've talked about it a lot in other episodes of like Kenny's social meter when she comes home is empty. My social meter is nearly full. So I'm like, hey, how are you? Let's talk. Let's this, let's that. And she's like, I've talked enough. I've interacted enough. I just want to chill. So at times it's challenging, but I'm very much understanding that and being better at that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, for both of us, I think it's difficult. And, like, we talk about that, and we talk about how we wish the one other person did this, but it's, like, the game of opposites.
Right.
And, like, we haven't found, like, the perfect recipe for it. But we're working on it. It's a process of elimination. And I think that, especially, there are days that I work, like, really long days.
Right.
And that makes it extremely difficult. And then there's days where, you're streaming later in the day and I'm getting home at the time you're about to start, and then it's just an extra long period of time where we're like not
Right.
connected. And then I'm sleepy and tired and you're like, okay, I'm ready to like spend time together, and we're like,
Right.
it's like crossing ships while being
In the same.
vicinity.
Right. And like it's like when I say dinner is tough, I mean dinner is tough in the sense of like, as you guys know, there are some days where I start my stream at 4:30, and then there's other times where I start my stream at 6:30. And Kenny doesn't really have the schedule of like she's home every single day at 5 or every single day at 6. So it's really tough when she's busy at work. I know I'm starting at 4:30 or 6:30. The later ones are a little bit easier, but the earlier ones are tough because it's like, ooh, do I think Kenny's going to get home in time where she's still going to want to make dinner and isn't too tired? Or do I like make dinner at 3, keep it, or do I order something midstream so when it's here, when she gets back, it can be kind of challenging in that aspect. But like today was a great example. I streamed early. Sunday's a day Kenny usually has off. She had to work. She's had a crazy week prior, crazy week coming up. So I was like, I'm going to make dinner. She'll come home. It'll either be ready or almost ready. And it worked out because, again, she had a long day. I wasn't streaming too easy. But on nights where I'm starting at 4:30, she went in at 7 or 8 or 9. I don't know when she's going to be home. If she comes home super late, I don't blame her for not wanting to cook or wanting to eat so late. But then there's times where I'm like, hey, I'll get dinner tonight. And you're like, nope, I got it. And I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, all right. So it's just like trying to balance that.
Yeah. Dinner's tough. It's gotten better.
Yes.
Like, dinner thoughts and processes has gotten a lot easier. I think it's because initially there was like a lot of pressure because that was the time that we had to like together.
Right.
And then it was like, okay, we need to stop putting less pressure. I'm starving. You want to spend time with me. Then I'm irritable, and you want this, and I want this, and it was just like
Right.
a lot of back and forth. But we've gotten better at, that process, and
Yeah.
it takes time.
And I'm also used to streaming at night. So when I lived alone in Vermont and worked full time, I would work, come home, eat something quickly, jump on stream. And if I didn't eat, I would eat super late. So for me, it was just like a normal thing to either eat super late or eat super early, and like that just be it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously now that the dynamics changed and we're living together and you have your schedule and I have mine, it makes it challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're getting better on it, getting better at it.
But yeah, no, it's been a process, but we are chugging along.
Yeah, and like I would love to get to a point where I can stream from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon every single day, and have the nights off, so I can just either make dinner or have something ready, or go grocery, like whatever it is, just to ease that a little bit and have more of a normal schedule. Because I also would like to be with you in the evenings,
But that's not realistic.
no, that's why I said I wish.
Yeah, it's not really realistic because people want to watch you after they're done work.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Which is like it's good for me too sometimes because like even that allows me to just have time to myself.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Especially like if I have if I have to work from home or if I have to do schoolwork or whatever it might be. So, I mean, I think we're figuring it out.
Yeah, I just realized you're wearing my hoodie.
What?
You're wearing my hoodie.
I don't know what you're talking about. We had Joe write in and said, what are some hard things that you had to face while you were in military, as in at me, and how did you get through those obstacles? I didn't really go through much. We weren't in a relationship when you were
Right.
that deep into active duty. I was always kind of just like the friend and the bystander of, some of the stuff that was going on. And we were friends when you got deployed and we had to live with each other. So, like, I've watched the ups and downs of, like, some of the stuff that has gone on. I wouldn't say that it created too many obstacles for me. I think that the biggest obstacle that was ever kind of faced has to do with just like you holding things into yourself and like letting little pieces out because you didn't want anybody else to like know or help or whatever, and kind of getting through any tough times, any, different levels of trauma, health, mental capacity. That was always the biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
And I also am stubborn, and there's a reason why I'm not military, because when it comes to like the chain of command, I will fight any level of chain of command, because I don't really care who you are. There is right and there is wrong. And so when it comes to the military and some situations that you have been in and are a part of and whatever it might be, I think is absolute asinine most of the time.
Yep.
But it's part of it, and I have an understanding of that. So I would say the biggest obstacle is like having understanding with knowing like the fact that sometimes things are not going to change.
Right.
Because it is military.
Yep.
And it's out of your control, it's out of my control, but it just makes me so angry.
Right.
On certain situations, certain things that happen, and, stuff like that. But I would say those are my biggest obstacles, is knowing how to help, but also having a level of respect for the chain of command that you
right.
have had to go through.
Yeah.
I think for me, that's more or less.
That's a good question. I like that.
My obstacle. And somebody also wrote in, why do I love Sammy Sanchez more than you?
That was a question?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
I'm not going to get into that because it could expose everybody in this room for a lot of different reasons. But Sammy is based off of somebody in my life. He's real.
He's a real man. He is nothing like the character.
He is nothing like the character.
Just used his name, his first name.
Just use the name and some other things. But Sammy is somebody that's in my life. So that's why I always think it's ridiculous when you play Sammy Sanchez.
Can I tell you something about Sammy Sanchez? That the chat doesn't even know yet? So Smithers plays a Hispanic guy as well.
Yeah.
And he always wears what his character is wearing.
Yeah.
So I ordered a Vagos t-shirt, a bald cap, and a yellow bandana to dress as Sammy Sanchez.
Why do you always go to the extreme when you do that?
What do you mean the extreme?
Why do you always go to the extreme? Why did you need a bald cap?
Because Sammy Sanchez is bald in the city.
But that doesn't mean you need to wear a bald cap. That's crazy.
Smithers was like, when are you going to dress like Sammy when we stream together? Because we're going to stream him on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's weird. That is weird.
Yeah, so if you come home and I'm in a Vagos t-shirt and
I'm not coming home on Wednesdays.
I can't wait. And I was going to surprise chat, but I can't surprise anything. Terrible at surprises.
Terrible at surprises.
Terrible.
But yeah, no, Sammy's a real-life human being. He's not...
He's not bald.
He's not bald. He's not a gangbanger.
Nope.
He...
Doesn't drive taxi.
He doesn't drive taxi.
He's a very sweet man.
He is a very sweet man.
Love that guy.
Does some incredible things for
He's
me.
helped us around the house here with the yard, with the poison ivy.
Yeah.
Slayed the poison ivy for Kenny.
I had a really bad poison ivy outbreak.
2 summers ago?
Yeah, 2 summers ago. Almost 2 years ago. And I had poison ivy for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not allergic. Never had been allergic. My brother used to get it really bad. And I was like, nope. Been in the same places as him. Touched it. Rolled around in it. Never bothered me. And we had this giant like bush that like, it was actually beautiful. There was like flowers on it. And it kind of went around our mailbox. And I needed to like clean it up a little bit. So I trimmed it back and cleaned it up. And a couple days later, I like get like this one spot on my arm, and I'm like, "Oh, that's weird." And then like 2 days later, it's
and the
like
spot became a continent.
It came in a whole patch, and then where I was bending my arm, it got up here. I had some on, like, the inside of my legs. I had one, like, on my collarbone, and I was afraid that I was going to get to, like, my face and my eyes and my lungs.
And she was sending me, like, Snapchats of it and just covered in, like, calamine lotion.
Yeah, and the calamine was not working, and then I used calamine spray, and I was allergic to the spray.
Yep.
And so Jess actually drove me to urgent care, and they gave me 2 shots in the rear end.
Yep.
One for the poison ivy and another, like, steroid for my allergic reaction.
Right. And then when I got down here, the bush was kind of coming back. So Sammy came, sprayed it all down, killed it out, and then it kind of started to grow back, and I just went ham on it for like an entire day. Sprayed it with all sorts of crazy stuff, dug it up, chainsawed the stumps and the roots and the vines of everything in there, and just absolutely ripped everything up. And I hope it doesn't come back.
It will.
I'm going to maintain it. Nobody's getting poison ivy under my watch. Mm-hmm. I've never had it.
You've never had it?
Never had it.
Yeah, I said that once too, and it was terrible. It was honestly terrible.
Yeah, you'll have that.
Um,
What other questions do you guys have live on Twitch here? Question scenarios. Here's one for you, since you're a good cook. Are there any healthy dinner ideas that are non-seafood and are quick and easy when coming home from work that you guys would recommend?
my go-to is usually like a protein bowl. So, like, I'll do like a Mexican bowl. I've done like an Asian fusion kind of like chicken bowl.
Always so good.
But it's good just because you get a meat, a protein. We'll use whatever veggies we have.
Yep.
Usually it's like peppers, onions, broccoli,
Yep.
corn, whatever it might be. On rice. We've done rice. We've done like potatoes.
Yep.
We've done.
Usually like sweet potatoes. Those are good. I like those.
Yeah. We'll do like sweet potatoes or something. But that's like the easiest.
And those are always very good. Mm-hmm. All expenses paid, move, and everything. If you had to pick one place to live for the rest of your life, where would it be and why?
What's yours?
I don't know if I necessarily have one. I love where we're at right now. If all expenses paid, I guess that really doesn't count like buying a new house. But I love North Carolina. I really do. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I like the areas that are around here. Like when we went and got drinks last night with Jess and Michael, I really enjoyed like the downtown area and like seeing that because obviously I haven't seen a ton. Loved it. But I also enjoy Hawaii and Florida.
I've never been to Hawaii.
Let's go. I also wouldn't mind like living in like Dubai.
Nope, no interest in that.
What about you? What are yours?
I don't know.
Rutland, Vermont.
To be honest, if there was no winter, I would move to Montana tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that.
But the winters are brutal and long and miserable and no thanks. But I don't know. I love Florida.
Yep.
I did love Florida. I think that I would I have always said that I wanted to go to Ocala, Florida, which is in the center of the state, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go to Florida, you might as well go to the coast.
Right.
The whole state is the coast. But it was beautiful. And I would go back every single summer, and I loved it when I lived down there. I would go 4 days.
Yeah.
Go play golf. Loved it. But yeah. No, I don't know. The Outer Banks. I do love Cape Cod. If money wasn't an option, I do love Cape Cod.
Yep. That would be nice as well.
But yeah. A lot of people ask me some golf questions too.
Get into it.
There was somebody that wrote earlier.
Someone asked if you ever played any golf courses in Vegas.
I did see that, and no, I have not.
I played one.
Yeah, which one?
It was the Air Force's golf course. It was alright. Wasn't a fancy country club by any means. They had a nice clubhouse and restaurant was good. Pretty dry out there.
There's some incredible military golf courses.
Yes,
out there.
the Air Force prides ourselves on golf courses.
Yeah.
That we do.
Chair Force, baby.
Hey.
We had somebody write in, what's the biggest challenge that you have faced on the golf course? Myself.
Yeah.
I will say that without even a blink of an eye, is my biggest demon on the golf course is me. Has nothing to do with anybody else. I went through a lot of ups and downs with my golf game in my life. I started playing at 5 years old, and I was good. Like, I was very good. But I didn't like it. I wanted to play hockey. I was stubborn. I wanted the team sport. I wanted, like...
Hang on. You're stubborn?
Chill. I was stubborn in the fact that, like, I didn't want to do something just because I was good at it. I wanted to be passionate about it, and I never felt that at a young age about the game of golf. I just did it because I was good at it, and my family had me do it.
Yep.
And it was just like a thing. I loved hitting the ball as far as I could, but when it came to, like, the nitty-gritty, like, grinding, working on short game, I was like, no. Absolutely not. Give me a club and let me swing as hard as I can. And what?
No, I was just thinking of a follow-on question.
Oh. But no, and then I got into high school and I was competitive and had the opportunity to just, like, focus on my golf game and start a career, and I was like, absolutely not. I want to play hockey. And so I gave it all up to go and play hockey in college. And then kind of came full circle, and my old golf coach got me my first interview, and I told him straight up, I was like, I do not want to be a pro. And he was just like, it's not for being a pro. Like, just go take the interview. And I was like, yeah, all right. I went and did it, and the guy was like, so I want you to be a pro. And I was like, oh my God, no. But I kind of, like, fell back in love with it because it was a different side of it. Like, it wasn't just focusing on myself, just, you know, me in the game, but it was more of everybody else. But it created, like, a hunger to, like, get better at my own game because I had given up on myself for such a long time. And I went with some ups and downs on that, and, you know, I confided in some people that really did disappoint me and actually steered me away back to, like, the dark side of my own golf game. And I would say that it stays with me still a little bit, which makes me so angry because I really don't care what people think, but, you know.
Would you have ever expected to be in the golf industry, say in, like, high school or college?
No.
If someone said, hey, in these many years you're going to be a golf pro?
No. Absolutely not.
Because what was your ideal job, like, in high school or going into college or leaving college? Like, what was the dream job?
I would say my dream job was to work for, like, a marketing team for a specific company. So that doesn't mean, like, Nike or anything, but, like, at the time, as I was going through school, I was in a different relationship, and the things that I was exposed to at that time is what I thought I was going to get into just because it was easy.
Yep.
And I liked it. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the lifestyle. I enjoyed, you know, the traveling. I still do. I enjoyed, like, a level of independency.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I always thought that I was going to do some sort of, like, social media marketing for some type of company.
Yeah.
Just kind of do content creating for somebody else. That's really what I went to school for, too. But yeah, no. When it comes to obstacles on the golf course and in my golf game, it's me. I get inside my head, I get frustrated with myself, and as does everybody, and that's what I teach, is I work a lot with, like, the mental side of the game, and I try and pull myself out of it. I try and give people, you know, ideas and perspective of how to get out of it, and it works for them, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get myself out of it.
You can
but
teach it, but you can't do it yourself.
That's the number one thing. But no, golf is a crazy, crazy, crazy game. It's a incredible game that you can play forever.
Yep. But it is a lot of mental. A lot of mental. And I've never been somebody that like just sits out there and can spend 5 hours hitting balls on the range. That's never been me. Yeah, no. I can't either. I like moving around. I like doing stuff. Like, go play 18 holes? Absolutely. Go hit balls for an hour? I'm okay. Right. Yeah. But it's part of it. Yeah. And that's what I tell everybody. Comes with the territory. Because if I'm teaching you, I said, don't come back to me until you've practiced it. There'd be no point. Have you guys ever visited Missouri? If not, would you? I've been to St. Louis. I've also been to St. Louis. I was part of my schooling for the Air Force was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Fort Lost in the Woods. When I think of Missouri, I think of Fort Leonard Wood, and I never want to go back anywhere near there. The only thing you could do was go to Walmart, get a tattoo, go to the bowling alley on base, and that was about it. And it was just full of Army, and the food was terrible. Army base. Yeah. No, I don't think I have any real drive to go back to Missouri. It's not like a place of like, hey, we should go to Missouri this weekend. Yeah, I don't foresee myself going back to Missouri unless if I had to. Right. But that's just me. Yeah, to each their own. That's just like, I think South Dakota is a waste of a state. Yeah. Again, to each their own. I don't know. There's some places out there that I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. The whole state of Ohio, I'm all right. Yeah, I don't. No offense to any of y'all that live out there. And, no offense to the Ohioans. No, but like, what do I need with corn? What business do I have with corn? None. Do you think they have good cream corn out there? Yeah. Word on the street is they got good chili. Word on the street. Arizona? I'd go to Arizona. I'd play some golf in Arizona. I've been to Arizona. I've never been to Arizona. Have I? No, I don't think I have. Yeah, I have. Terrible, terrible experience. What's the biggest lesson you've learned through your golf experience? Getting deep. I don't know. Drive for show, putt for dough? Yeah. Yeah. What's the biggest lesson you've learned through your golf experience? Honestly, just to stay in your own lane. Is to, keep your head moving forward. Keep yourself on the same path, but you can't compare yourself to anybody else. There's no other sport where you need to stay in your own lane as you can learn from other people. I think of like football, basketball, hockey. Everybody has their thing and like their technique and whatever it might be, but like those are transferable skills. But when it comes to golf, everything is so different. And if you focus too much on what other people are doing, you'll never truly be successful with yourself. It's because you're just comparing and you're trying to be like them and you're trying to do what they're doing, and that's not always what you need to do to be successful. So stay in your own lane, I would say, is probably the biggest lesson I've learned when it comes to the game of golf, both on the business side of it as well as, the actual game aspect of it. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Alchemist wrote in, Burt, if you were not getting medically discharged, would you have stayed in till retirement? And he's talking about the military. That is a great question, and I often think about that. I think my immediate answer would be yes, if I kept the same passion and love for it that I had. If I would have lost out on that, I think it would have been a tough decision because, again, 13 years in, like, you're so close to getting that retirement. But it also would have depended on where we were in our lives together.
Mm-hmm.
Because the unit I'm attached to has a very high ops tempo, a lot of TDYs across the country, deployments. We're actually overseas right now. And that was one thing that Kenny was adamant on, was not having a relationship, constantly just being apart. So I think it could have made it challenging. Do I think we could have done it? Absolutely. But I loved the military. I ate, slept, lived Uncle Sam since I was 17. It's all the only thing I've ever known. And it's tough going through the process and knowing that, possibly within the next 6 to 8 months I won't be a part of it anymore, and not necessarily reaching the goals that I wanted to reach is definitely tough. But again, I really don't know a solid answer on that. I think my immediate answer would be yes, especially if I kept the same passion and drive and love for the Air Force that I once had.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be tough to peel me away from it, even after 20 years, if I kept that same passion. Because again, my initial goal was to get in, get experience, become a civilian law enforcement, get out after 4 years, and then it was, nope, I'm staying in the military until I'm 20, or my 20 years, and then it was, I'm going to stay in the military until I was 60, and I have to retire.
Yeah.
And that all changed. All of those things changed. So it's very tough to say because, again, I would have never expected to stay longer than 4 years. I would have never expected to stay in as long as I did. I would have never expected to want to stay till I was 60. I would have never expected to possibly be going through the medical retirement route. So it's really tough to say.
I think it's not like you're raising your hand and say, I volunteer as tribute to get out. I don't think anybody expects to have a medical retirement.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I think that from an outside perspective of anybody is you weren't expecting this.
Right. No.
And it's easy to say because you're in the situation, you are going through what you're going through, but at the same time is like that was never the goal. That was never the goal of why you got in,
right.
why you did so many years.
And I think it obviously would be different too if, I never had the issues or went through what I went through in the military. Because obviously those have, repercussions in a sense for the future. And if I didn't, have the medical issues that I do from the military and the things I had to endure and deal with, I'd probably be all over it and I wouldn't want to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. But it's really, really tough to really say yes or no.
I think that's also like there was a time where you were considering moving to where I was at in Florida, and I was like, no, because it doesn't have what you want, and that was your military lifestyle.
Right.
And I was like, you're not going to get out of and kind of throw your hands up for me.
Right.
And
you weren't one being like, if you want to be with me, you need to get out of the military either.
No.
That was not the case.
No.
As you guys know, Kenny is the absolute OG #1 supporter of anything and everything that I do.
Yeah.
Oh, pizza question.
Ayo.
Pineapple on people.
Pineapple on people.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? My always was absolutely not. Disgusting, terrible. My mom used to get it all the time when I was a kid. Hated it. Went over to a friend's place last week. He made Hawaiian pizza, and I ate more slices of Hawaiian pizza than I did regular pizza. It was delicious. The sweetness, I was taken back by it.
Do you think that's because you've aged?
My taste buds have matured, and I have matured.
I mean, that's not what I asked, but yeah.
What do you mean like?
You're aged. You're elderly.
I'm not elderly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just think
like when your mom was your age, she had kids like you, and she was getting pineapple on pizza, And now you're at that point in your life where you're around that age and you're starting to like pineapple on pizza. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I've aged and
I've never been to, like, granted, there's not a lick of Italian in me. Not a lick. And I think there's a lot of people that take, like, serious offense to, like, pineapple on
Right.
pizza.
yeah,
And I think that's why there's so much, like,
controversy about it. Right.
But at the same time, is like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like, absolutely not. That's a repulsive. That's a sin. Like, blah, blah. Like, no. Give
Right.
it a break.
It's pizza.
It's pizza.
It's okay.
I've seen people put some weird stuff on pizza. I used to work at a pizza place, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
pizza place.
questionable.
Yeah, pizza place I worked at, they used to make, they still do, Thanksgiving pizza. It's one of my favorite pizzas in the whole entire world.
That's nasty.
So delicious.
That's so gross.
Garlic base, mashed potatoes, turkey, stuffing, drizzled with cranberry sauce. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
You like cranberry sauce?
On a pizza, yes.
You like cranberry sauce?
In general, no.
Like the one that comes out looking like the can?
No, I will not eat that. No.
Interesting.
Anchovies on pizza, anchovies on anything. Absolutely not.
No. No. No.
No.
Mac and cheese pizza?
We go to
Nope.
Cece's, Chuck E. Cheese pizza. What's they serve up there?
We have a Chuck E. Cheese.
We do, right around the corner.
Yeah.
They're redoing all the Chuck E. Cheeses in the entire country. I can't wait.
Actually, Lewis called me the big Chuck E. Cheese rat today.
Did he? That's kind of funny.
I called him a rat, and then he was like, no, you're a rat. You're the big Chuck E. Cheese rat. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
I can't come up with a different rat for you.
Yeah. I was going to say, who was the skateboarding rat on the commercials? It was Chuck E. Cheese. Damn. No other famous rats.
Yeah, the rat for the Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Sensei, Ratman, whatever his
Yeah, we
name
call
is.
people that. Never mind. I was going to say, we was about sometimes we talk. Oh,
What?
I couldn't speak right there.
You okay?
Yeah. Bert, how was the commercial shoot? It was awesome. We filmed a commercial with Grant Williams, Deputy Smitty, and all of the owners of Focus Fuel a couple weeks ago.
Smitty, Smivos.
Smivos. No, Deputy Smitty, Grant Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. He is a partial owner of Focus Fuel as well. It was super fun. Got to obviously meet Grant Williams, spend some time with him and his girlfriend. Obviously, all of the folks from Focus Fuel that were there. It was super awesome to kind of meet everybody in person and be a part of something cool like that. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun. And they shot it right here in Charlotte, so it was easy.
Yeah.
Kenny said, you didn't get a haircut and you didn't iron your shirt. That's what
Yeah.
she got out of the commercial. It wasn't like, oh, that's so cool, babe. Like, I love that. It was, you didn't have a haircut and you didn't iron your shirt.
Like, that would be, if I was going to be on a commercial, I would think to at least throw my shirt in the dryer to get the creases out of it.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good.
No, you looked a mess.
I looked a mess.
Your hair was as long as it is right now.
I know, I'm getting a haircut on Tuesday.
Yeah, freaky.
Freaking her out. Coke or Pepsi products? Yo, let's get to some deep questions here, too. Deep questions. Coke or Pepsi, go.
Obviously, Coke. I'm a big DC girl.
She's a big DC girl.
DC or die.
I might even have to take a trip to the gas station and get her an ice pop plunge.
I haven't had one today. I haven't had one in like 2 weeks.
I know. Polar Pop, that's what it is.
Polar Pop.
Get her a fresh Polar Pop on this Sunday evening.
No, it's too late to have a DC. I
Too late
should
to
have
have
had one
DC.
earlier. I actually was thinking about it. Low key, most of the boys at work today hungover, weird, but they got McDonald's, and one of them got a Sprite, and I'm like, oh, a McDonald's DC, game changer.
It's different.
Best in the league.
I don't have a preference. Coke or Pepsi, frankly.
That.
I'd always have a DC over a Diet Pepsi. Absolutely. Diet Pepsi is disgusting. There's a guy at work that used to drink them all the time, and I'd like, hey, can I have one? I need some caffeine. Terrible.
I don't
Cherry
know.
Coke versus Cherry Pepsi. Cherry Pepsi takes the win.
I don't know how I feel about that statement. Honestly, it's kind of just frustrating me.
Love a good Mountain Dew.
Ugh.
Also, I don't know
Ugh.
who makes Cheerwine, but Cheerwine delicious. Dr. Pepper, also incredible. Dr. Pepper kind of gives me the melted cotton candy if it was a beverage. If cotton
Dr.
candy,
Pepper is Coke.
yeah, yeah,
Just saying.
yeah.
What is your favorite characteristic?
Words are tough for you tonight.
What is your favorite characteristic
You'd be the
of
gesture.
yourself and why?
Favorite characteristic. I think my favorite characteristic about myself is my humor.
Yeah. Why?
Why?
It says why.
Sorry. I think it's just life's too short to be serious all the time. And I know sometimes I'm too serious, but I love to laugh. I love to make other people laugh. And if you're not laughing during your day, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
What's your favorite characteristic of
Nothing.
yourself and why?
Nothing. I don't like anything about myself.
Come on, you gotta have something.
My favorite characteristic of myself. I think it's how much I care about everything I do or other people do. I think that I am overly selfless, and I would say that's something that is my favorite and also not my favorite at times, because sometimes I can't see those lines. But I think it's what makes me who I am, is I'm constantly thinking about everyone and everything else over myself. I think I talked about it today with my boss. And I was just like, I get so frustrated. Because all I do is I think about everybody else and how I can help them and all of that. And then people don't do it back, and I'm like,
WTF.
like, why? And it's like, that's on them, and like, I have to build a bridge and get over it.
Build a bridge and get over it.
But at the same time, it's just, that's really, it is who I am. And I think it's a good thing, because a lot of people hold serious value in what I say and what I do.
Facts.
So,
Yep.
I would like to say that's one of my favorite things. Also, I'm funny. I know I'm funny.
Yeah. Well, you'd be a good jester as well.
Not really. Because I would make fun of him. I would die real quick. Real quick.
Favorite household chore. I love to do the dishes, and I love to do laundry. I hate vacuuming and mopping this house. Also, I can clean the crap out of a bathroom, don't care. Vacuuming and mopping is so tedious to me.
Favorite household chore.
Organizing maybe for you? You like to
Yeah,
organize?
I love to organize. I do.
And it'll just be out of nowhere too with you. Like, well, she'll come home from work, or it'll be like a weekend, and all of a sudden it's just like everything's being organized.
Yeah, no, I have like, I don't know, there's something wrong with me, I guess, but I have a little OCD when it comes to like certain things, but a lot of the times, like, I never feel like I have enough time to complete my chores, and a lot of the times I'll do it on my off day.
Yeah.
I very rarely am just like hanging around doing nothing. We have lazy days, but then it like gets to a point I'm like, okay.
Beep boop, need to do something now.
Yeah. And I love to organize. Like, I was just looking around in the living room and I'm like, this place is a dump. But it's not even a dump. There's just stuff in places where it's not supposed to be. So I would say organizing. I don't mind cleaning the floors. I like it. Our floors stink because they have the little cracks.
Yeah. The flooring is not great in here, and it's tough to clean.
The flooring is textured. So, like, we've talked about this before. I have a little, like, sensory issue. Actually, I meant to tell you that today. I had a little boy come in with his mom looking for a new golf shirt. So I'm showing you, and he came in, he put them on, and just, like, instantly his skin crawled because it has, like, a small tag at the top.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan.
And his mom came in, she's like, I don't think this is gonna, like, work. And she told me why. And I'm like, I
got you.
my guy.
I got you.
And so I had we didn't have any in his size, but I was like, this one has screen printed tags. You're welcome.
I got you.
But yeah, no. I have some serious like sensory issues, but I cannot walk in this house barefoot ever. So I always have socks and I always have my slippers.
Yeah, because like the floor is literally like textured like fake wood.
Yeah.
Like the ridges of the wood. It's very strange. It's kind of a pain to clean.
Yeah.
But no, I love doing dishes. Like dishes never sit. If there's dishes from like the night before, which is rare, like we'll eat dinner, she'll cook, I'll clean the dishes, sink's empty. In the morning, I'll make breakfast, clean the dishes.
Like sometimes it's too excessive.
When has it been too excessive?
The other day, you didn't feel good. I come home, literally changing. I put my
Your
like
2 containers from lunch.
my lunch containers in the sink, walk away from him, and he's coming out and he's scrubbing, and the studio has noise coming from it. I'm like, go sit down. Stop touching my stuff. Like, and he was like, no, it's fine. And I was like, yeah, I know it's fine, but like, it's like you heard the like ting of the metal of the sink, and you're like, dishes are done, need to be done.
Yep.
No, it's weird and excessive at times. But
Yeah, like right now we ate dinner and all of the dishes are sitting out there right now, and I know that I need to clean them.
yes, they will always get clean.
Yep. Here's a big one for you, Kenny. Kenny, as a project manager, what advice would you give to someone when their manager is making them juggle 5 high-priority projects at once, asking for updates on every project every morning, but they're only one person and can only do so much in a day?
Crazy. I don't know. I think that there's power in delegation, which takes a while to kind of like understand and figure out, because as you juggle like big projects, big tasks, stuff like that, it gets overwhelming when there's a lot of small stuff. So I think handling that is, you have to be able to multitask. You have to be able to write a list and kind of check those boxes as you go. Giving updates and stuff like that is the only reason why that seems like it's pressure is because it is you're being told by somebody else to get something done, so they are constantly checking in. But those smaller things need to be delegated to other people. And some people don't have that. Sometimes you don't have that, middleman or, an assistant to kind of help you get through it. But you can only do so much. And it's time consuming and it's exhausting and all of that. But that is the reason why people are given things like that, is most of the time nobody's going to give you a task that you can't handle. But kind of breaking the barriers to believe in yourself that you can do it, I think is one of the biggest challenges. Because that happens to me all the time. Even the other day, I was like, I feel behind. I've been working long days and all of this, but I feel behind because I had so many big things, but I had so many little things that were below it. So it was hard for me to focus, but delegating those smaller things to other people and putting them in different directions allowed me to focus on those bigger things. So
Yeah.
I think as somebody that manages like big projects and stuff like that, I think there's always a way to, internally manage without imploding.
Yeah, and I can kind of piggyback off of that a little bit in the sense of like when I was, a supervisor in the military, and when I was overseas, I had a lot of, airmen with me, and a lot of, sergeants and other, staff sergeants and stuff that I could delegate to, which made it easier. But back home, it was just me and one other guy who worked full time. And there were times where it would get to be too much, where it's just like, this is genuinely not manageable.
Correct.
In those circumstances, it's tough, especially depending on how your boss is or your manager, if they're the kind of person where you can go and be like, hey, listen, you've assigned A, B, C, and D. Here are the updates on them. I know we're trying to meet this goal or meet this timeline. But there is a strength in people who can ask for help, in a sense. By saying like, hey, I could use some extra help, or hey, could I get an extension, and explain things. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you're incapable of it. It just means that you're trying to manage it with the best interest of completing that goal or task. And it may not be in the timeline that they're looking for. And there's obviously times where that timeline is a hard timeline. But there are always opportunities as a leader, manager, as a worker, whatever it is, to refocus, rethink, and restructure how you get to those goals. And by restructuring, rethinking, reevaluating, that shows your mindset, again, of trying to get to that end goal of completing whatever that task is.
Yeah, and I think that no matter what situation you're in, is, you're going to have to accomplish it. And it's a matter of, if you ask for help, if you say, I can only do X, Y, and Z, but A and B are something that I can't do right in this current moment.
Right.
And hopefully nobody's in a situation, and it happens, I can guarantee it, where they're like, I have no help, I have no people below me, I have one person above me, and it's just me doing these big projects, then you're screwed.
Right. It's kind of the nature of the beast.
But I think that any level of, hierarchy is going to understand where it kind of gets put to, or else they're going to, they may not get A grade stuff. They might get a B grade project.
Yep.
And when it comes down to like, when you have a review, when you have a sit down, if you have a one-on-one, and being like, hey, maybe you don't give me 5, maybe you give me 3.
Right.
And then we ham and egg on the other 2 if they have a deadline.
And because it's tough, because you don't want to seem like you can't complete the task, because you obviously want to do everything you can to make yourself look good and give a good product.
Right.
And that's also kind of a catch-22 in the sense, but you also asked, what about when you ask for help and they say they will and they never help? Always have a paper trail. Always have a paper trail.
Right.
Emails. You talk to somebody on the phone and you're like, hey, I really could use this help with it. You send them an email summarizing that conversation. Hey, just wanted to connect. I know we just talked on the phone about you helping out with Project A. Really appreciate you. Thank you. You check in with them. Hey, just wanted to check in on Project A, all via paper trail.
Yeah. And that's what, I do myself. I teach the guys around me and with me on my team to do that as well. It's like, give me a paper trail.
Right.
It's like, hold me accountable by saying, hey, Jensen, I sent you an email a week ago about X, Y, and Z. Have you been able to do it, and what can I do to help? And then I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yep.
And now it's on me.
Right.
So, I mean, it goes both ways.
Right.
And I always tell everybody is like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask questions. When it comes to a job with projects, events, whatever it might be, is you will never be fully successful until you are able to rely on others.
Yeah, it's a team.
Is nobody runs an event from start to finish of any juncture by themselves.
Right.
You think about it. You think about a wedding.
Yeah.
You have a florist. You have
photographer, DJ, catering.
Yeah, you have it all. Everybody's working in different parts, but everybody has their own task. It's the same thing with what I do day to day. Is like, if I have a tournament, maybe I'm printing scorecards, getting the event set up in the back end and doing all of that. But I have guys outside staging the carts. I have another guy, filling in, proximities, putting them on the course, making sure there's signage out there. I have another guy printing a scoreboard. I have somebody up front checking in people as they're paying for the round. Everybody needs their team, and there's no such thing as a successful event or project completed by yourself at any point.
Facts.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
A little business talk.
A little business talk. But no, and it kind of connects the same thing with like streaming. I have a team that works with me, and whether it's like this month where gifted subs get people entered in for a giveaway, they're taking down names, they're inputting them, they're assigning points, they're moderating the chat, they're helping me with social media. Like, my success is not based off of just me.
Mm-hmm.
a great stream and a great month is not just based off of me. It's based off of the team that is working with me, and I'm very thankful for that. And again, everyone helps out where they can, and we try to have the best product that we can.
Yeah. Everybody needs to depend on their community and their team.
Yep. Absolutely. Hope that helps, Gagnon. But that just about wraps up episode 13, y'all, with a little question and answer with Burt and Kenny. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We did. Make sure you're following us on all the platforms, our individual Instagrams, the BK Lounge Instagram. Check out our website, thebkloungepod.com.
Our
Tic Tac, as well as, make sure you're liking, subscribing, reviewing, rating, commenting on all of our posts. Download them. It definitely helps us out. Share the podcast. Again, it's on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as our Twitch page here. So we appreciate you. We love you. Will we be live next Sunday?
Yeah, I don't know. We aren't sure if we're going to be live, but we will have an episode posted next Sunday. My family's in town, but more importantly, my nephew is here. So we might be doing some hairy activities.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a podcast with them.
I actually said that to Katie the other day. I was like, I had an epiphany and like a daydream that you guys were looking at houses and we went live and Harry was our first guest. And I was like, what do you think he would say? And I was like, the only people in North Carolina that he knows is Auntie Jay, Nick, and Michael Jordan.
Yep. That's true.
He wrote a list of what we needed to do for our Auntie and Harry Day. Mm-hmm. And he said, buy a house.
Oh.
Go to the water park.
Oh.
Go to the candy store.
Okay.
And wrote it on a piece of paper. So
mark that down.
I'll probably do one of those three.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the water park.
Yeah, no. Kenny's not a big fan of the water parks.
No. Would rather not go into that place, but I'll convince him of all sorts of other fun stuff.
There's plenty of other stuff we can do.
I'll bring him to the candy store. I don't care.
Yeah. Whatever works. But we will have something for you next Sunday, whether it be live or not live. We'll have it posted next Sunday. So have a great week. We love you. We appreciate you. And before we go any further, Kenny, any last thoughts, Kenneth? Thoughts?
No. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Y'all be good.
This has been the BK Lounge Podcast with Burt and Kenny. We hope you enjoyed your time diving deep in on wild topics, listening to crazy stories, and hanging out with us. We'll see you next week live on Twitch. Be sure to check out our website for all our social links at www.thebkloungepod.com. Y'all be good now, and we'll see you next time.